Okay, Etude 53 by Mitchell Peters. I'm using the 32, 29, and 26. It is dotted half note equals 72. Because it goes back and forth between 3, 4, and cut time, I'm going to go ahead and put the metronome at 216. That way we have a constant quarter note going. Although we will be keeping the constant quarter note in our brain, we won't necessarily feel 3, 4, and cut time the same way. Obviously 3, 4, we want to make sure we have a little tone 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the cut time 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This metronome can help us keep a consistent tempo. Because I'm going to be tuning the 32 in line 3, I'm going to go ahead and keep my feet on the 32 and 29 to stabilize myself, and if I need to make any fine-tune adjustments during the piece. Make sure you play some of this on a marimba or a piano first to get the pitches in your head and to hear the exact tuning that you should have on these drums as you play. You have some rolls that are tied and some that are not. Mitchell Peters' book says I'm going to tie all these rolls together. There will be certain times where I won't do that, but we'll talk through that. All right, so the first line here, we have a forte dynamic with an accent. So the accent takes it up one dynamic level. So accents will be fortissimo. On these rolls, I'm going to connect them. So I'm going to go right, left, trying to bridge that. Because measure 4 lends itself to a left hand sticking and also there's an accent, I will not connect that F sharp roll to the 29. That way I can hear a clear start to that measure and that new time signature. So I'll connect and then I won't connect on the next part. All left lead on measure 4 and 5. On measure 6 I will connect. Because I have time, I will mute the 32. That way the 29 has a clear release and it's not so muddy down here. 32 will ring the longest out of all these drums, so I want to get it out of the way so I can hear the 29 clearly. So let's hear the first line. 1, 2, ready, go. Line 2 drops a mezzo piano, and I'm going to go left lead, then right lead. Alternating is best on timpani, although you could get away with some double stickings here. I want to keep it alternating. So on measure 9, I'm going to go right, left, right. I'm going to move my body, left, right, left, right. Now, slight crescendo here. And I'm going to mute for this tuning change here. Now, when doing tuning changes, I would make sure you're always doing it to a beat. That way you're consistent. That way tuning's not just out of time. You want to give your tuning an actual rhythm. I'm going to give myself the full measure in 2 beats. So I'm going to go start, stop. So I'm going to go mute, start, stop, play. All right, so let's do line 2 through the tuning change. 1, 2, ready, go. So after the tuning change, I'm going to start moving my feet over to the top 2 drums because my next tuning change will occur on the 26th. So I'm going to sneak over during this easy quarter note passage. Now, going to measure 19, I'm going to do a double left. So I have right, left, 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 right, left. Here's measure 20. Now with these quarter rests, you could add some muting in here, but I'm not a big fan of a lot of muting during timpani unless it's absolutely necessary or it helps the music. And I don't think muting here really helps anything. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the muting out, and you and your private instructor or your percussion teacher might decide otherwise. So on this tuning change, I'm deciding to go mute the bottom 2 drums on beat 2, and then on beat 3 I'm going to slide over and mute the E. Then I'm going to take the full measure to start and stop on the big beats. 1, 2, and to go up to E. 1, 2. So I'm going to do this slowly. Mute, mute, start, stop, boom. You can choose other counts, but again, I really would advise giving your muting and tuning a specific beat so it's consistent. All right, so let's start in line 3 after the tuning change. Don't forget to sneak your feet over. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, right, line 6, simple right lead. On the 3/4, I'm going to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. On this dotted half roll, I'm choosing to mute after the roll, dotted note piano, because the next roll is at piano, and that way we can start softer. Otherwise, this drum's going to keep ringing. It also allows that accents to really stand out. Let's do 2 lines, line 6 and 7. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, line 8 through the tuning change. I'm gonna go right, left, right, left, right. Again, you have some doubled opportunities here, but on timpani, I think alternating is better. The cross strokes aren't that bad. Just make sure you're keeping your body engaged and helping you anticipate your movements. I'm gonna mute on beat 4, bow drums here, and then I'm gonna take 2 counts to tune the E down to the D, and 2 counts to take the G down to the F sharp. Now when I am tuning the E, I'm going to go ahead and slide over and mute over here so I don't hear any kind of noise during the gliss. Mute, slide, 1, big beat 2, move, big beat 2, play. Move, set. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, moving on to the half note rolls after the tuning. So I'm gonna put a little break between the low 32 and the 3/4 measures. That way I can hear that time change, and also gives me time to get over the second time too when I jump up to the 26. So I'm gonna connect, a little bit of break, a little bit of break. All right, right lead here in last line. On the last 2 measures, on beat 2, on that quarter note on 2, I'm going to mute. The 26 is probably not going to be ringing that much, so I don't think there's a rush to get over there, but it sounds more produced and more professional when there's nothing kind of ringing over at the end if the music calls for it. So I'm going to go ahead and calmly slide over and just make sure I mute the top drum as well, while keeping the left hand on the 32, because that's the ringing monster right there. So. And just be very still, let the room be silent, and then you can move on. 1, 2, ready.